Morning glory, America. Bonjour, hi, Canada. So great to have you this morning on this Friday. It's been a very, very long getting to, I would say. I would say this has been the longest time coming, Friday, June 5th, in the year of the plague, 2020. Many people have forgotten about the virus in the course of the disturbances, protests, riots, and now peaceful demonstrations. Now mourning for George Floyd. Now normalcy is returning. But the virus didn't go away. You may not have noticed, but the United States is nearing 2 million confirmed cases. Our testing is through the roof. 110,000 people have died as a result of the virus, often with comorbidities. And the international numbers, which I get from the Times of Israel, are 6,365,000 cases and 377,000 deaths. But we don't know for sure because there are places like the People's Republic of China that will never let us know. I noted a distinct lessening of tension yesterday. I'm aware of stuff from a variety of places. I went downtown, went to the White House to visit some people yesterday, in and out of the White House quite calmly. They've secured the perimeter of the south ellipse with fencing to prevent demonstrations from occurring on that side of the White House. But all was calm. Took an Uber downtown, took an Uber back home. And I believe this weekend will be a normal weekend. There may be some marches. That is great. That's in the American tradition. I don't think we're going to see much more violence. And I believe that you're going to be seeing people who are reasonable emerge. Start talking about, no, we're not going to defund the police. That's a Democratic talking point. That is a radical talking point. That is not mainstream America. And people are going to start applauding police again. Because, 3 weeks ago we were applauding police. There is a new rigor, I'm sure, in every squad room to identify and purge bad cops, but I don't think there are that many of them. And I do not believe in systemic racism in policing. I don't believe in systemic racism anywhere in the United States. I believe we are as fine a republic as has ever existed. Though there are individual haters among us, I don't believe it is the problem of the hour. I believe the problem of the hour is the economy. And the good news is later today, the unemployment number will hit, probably around 8:30 during the show on the East Coast. The expectation is new post-war highs. But the expectation is also that next month it begins to fall. The job losses have been on an unprecedented scale. And I'm looking at the Wall Street Journal this morning, likely to be a post-World War II high. Because, of course, the economy was closed by order of the government. And Friday's job report will offer a labor market snapshot from mid-May, when the government conducted its monthly survey of households. So we won't know for another month after this. They'll take another survey in mid-June. And hopefully by mid-June, the effects of the riots will have worn off in some big cities, but it will probably mean 2 months of recovery as opposed to a quick snapback. But the markets are fully alert to what the massive amount of stimulus means worldwide. Trillions and trillions of dollars of stimulus. The Dow went up only 11 points yesterday, but abroad today, and this is brought to you by Birch Gold, and I'm telling you, before you know it, I tweeted this morning, inflation is going to be the major concern. Before you know it, we have never, ever, not even in 2008, washed down the global economy with this much money. We have never printed this much money in a variety of ways. And everybody gets it. Japan's market is up 0.74%. Even in Hong Kong, after the Tiananmen Square anniversary, it's up 1 2/3%. German market is open at 1.75% up. Stocks are aware. And the 10-year Treasury, this is very good news, though it's not good news if you're going to go out and buy a house, is at 0.82%. Now, gold, which is the province of Birch Gold, which you find by going to hughgold.com or texting my name, Hugh, to 474747. Gold is at 1712. That's down from its highs. It's a great opening point. I'm telling you, inflation is going to be on the minds of many people come the fall. They want to see this. Now, people say, what about the riots? The riots are disturbing. They are upsetting. They have caused many people to wonder about the reliability of their local police, but it's still very, very reliable. Thank you to every man and woman in blue out there working the late shift on the West Coast or just coming to work on the East Coast. Most of the country, the vast majority of the country knows you're doing your job, and we appreciate it, and we call you in a second. Now, the chief law enforcement officer of the United States, Bill Barr, spoke yesterday. I want you to hear what he had to say. This is the first cut of Bill Barr at the Department of Justice, cut number 8.
Over the Constitution Avenue entrance to this building is a Latin inscription that translates, "Everything is created by law and order." That ancient principle still holds true. Our free society depends on the rule of law, the assurance that ordinary citizens can go about their lives without being subject to arbitrary violence or fear. When the rule of law breaks down, the promise of America does also. Our nation is now confronting 2 serious challenges to the rule of law. The first is a long-standing one, but was recently crystallized and driven home by the killing of George Floyd in Minneapolis. The video of the police conduct in this episode, as I said before, is harrowing. When you watch it and imagine that one of your own loved ones was being treated this way and begging for their lives, it is impossible for any normal human being not to be struck to the heart with horror. This matter is being pursued by both the state and the federal government.
That is the calm voice of William Barr. He continued, cut number 9.
This matter is being pursued by both the state and the federal government. The state has filed already second-degree murder charges against one of the officers and aiding and abetting charges against the other 3 officers. As we typically do in cases such as this, the Department of Justice and the FBI is conducting a parallel and independent investigation into possible violations of federal civil rights laws. The President has directed me to spare no effort. We are coordinating our work with the Attorney General of Minnesota, and as a matter of comedy, the Department of Justice typically lets the state go forward with its proceedings first. This afternoon, our United States Attorney in Minnesota and the FBI Special Agent in charge of our Minneapolis field office, the FBI's field office, will attend a memorial service for Mr. Floyd. Today is a day of mourning, and the day is coming soon, I am confident, when justice will be served. George Floyd's death was not the first of its kind, and it exposes concerns that reach far beyond this particular case. While the vast majority of police officers do their job bravely and righteously, it is undeniable that many African Americans lack confidence in our American criminal justice system. This must change. Our Constitution mandates equal protection of the laws, and nothing less is acceptable. As the nation's leading federal law enforcement agency, the Department of Justice will do its part.
Equal protection of the law, and nothing else is acceptable. After the break, I'll play you the Attorney General speaking, though, about the other issue, which is the incitement to violence, the actual violence, which is separate from the issue of reform where it is needed, purging where it is required, justice where it is demanded. That's coming, but so is the Attorney General's words to those who would riot. Stay tuned. It's The Rundown on this Friday, June 5th. In the year of the plague 2020, I'm Hugh Hewitt inside the Beltway. Stay with us.
Don't forget to